As a Manchester United fan, I honestly couldn't wish for a better draw. It's a nice, easy group, especially seeing what the other English clubs have gotten. Now, I'm not just happy because the other teams in our group are easy, which, by the way, they are, but it's also because the last time Manchester United was in the same group as Benfica and Basel, we got kicked into the Europa League. And at that time, I genuinely didn't rate that competition. In a way, as a Manchester United fan, I found it demeaning and beneath me. Thursday nights, Channel 5, and the trolling that I would get from friends and family. And they only did it because the Europa League was a competition that I constantly took the piss out of. However, last year was different, only because I had not seen my team competitive in a European competition. So I wanted Man United to go all out and win it to prove to me that they can still kick European football. Because the level that Manchester United faced in the Premier League was awful. For reasons why I think the Premier League is awful, go check out my other video. Is the Premier League overrated? Anyways, back to my point. Facing those two clubs and beating them is like scratching an itch that I've had for over 6 years. Also, our recent record against Benfica in the group stage isn't that good, as the last two times we've had them, we got kicked out back in 2005-06 season and 2011-12. So yeah, smacking the shit out of them would be nice. And finally, Manchester United also face CSK Moscow, which is annoying. They're not all that, but we would have to go all the way to Moscow. Luckily, we got Crystal Palace after, on a Sunday, I think. So yeah, I'm quite pleased with this group. Hopefully, we can build momentum throughout the group stage, and then maybe we can kick out a major team in the last 16. I don't expect Manchester United to win it, but I would like us to do something in it. I would be happy with a quarter-final place as long as we win the Premier League. But I do think on our day we can beat most of these European teams with the squad that we've got. Over to the other Premier League clubs. Now Chelsea's in Group C. Their group looks very interesting. That's a tough one for them, and if they're not 100%, then they could get kicked into the Europa League. Chelsea won't beat Atletico Madrid. They just don't have the minerals for that. But they should beat Roma. Now, saying that, they have to be at 100%, and I'm not going to lie, I give them only a 60% chance of beating Roma. Chelsea has two major problems for me. First major problem is their defense. It's fucking awful, and it's been like that for a good 3 or 4 years. And don't let the two Premier League title wins fool you. They were also poor then. Many teams last year could have taken points over Chelsea. Their defenses were carved open. I know the hype last year was on Kante's defensive work. He does deserve praise, and I'm not denying that. Man for man, Chelsea's defenders are horrible. David Luiz is a good player that can kick ball, but for me, he's one of the worst defenders I've ever seen, and I mean the worst. Now, some of you watching this will be saying that I'm chatting shit and that there are defenders that are worse than him. I would simply say that I personally would always pick a player that has the mentality to try to defend. And David Luiz, as much as he's a good player, he has no interest in defending. Basically, I would rather have a defender from the Coca-Cola League playing than a defender with the mindset of an attacking midfielder. Gary Cahill's awful and should be nowhere near the Chelsea squad, let alone being captain. Let's all be honest, he's only captain because he's English. Chelsea's wingbacks are decent and there's nothing more to say about them. Chelsea's second problem is that I don't think they'll be able to adapt quickly enough to the European style of football. Now, obviously, I don't mean that Chelsea should be playing tiki-taka football, but what I do mean is that Chelsea have been out of European football for the past 18 months, and all they've been facing were barbaric Premier League teams that play like maniacs with ill thought out attacks, simply playing on instincts, poor at defending even when parking the bus, and play Route 1 football. Chelsea didn't really need to tactically prepare for most of the Premier League clubs, as all they had to do was be physical in defending and have that magic spark up front, which they did in Hazard and Costa. But European teams are more tactically intelligent. They could carve any teams that don't prepare well for them. And Conte isn't known for being tactically intelligent. Yeah, he's good at galvanizing his players, and that's definitely good enough to win Premier League games. But in Europe, that would get you beaten. That's why I say Chelsea have to be at 100% or they're fucked. Because their squad isn't that impressive, especially with Costa looking like he's leaving. Also, Conte's history in the Champions League isn't that good. Remember, this is the guy that said when managing Juventus that he doesn't have the squad to win the Champions League. But a year later, they made the Champions League final. So yeah, Chelsea's going to have a tough time getting out of that group. Now, for Group H, it's pretty easy to guess how this group will turn out. Real Madrid and Dortmund will qualify. Tottenham have no chance of qualifying, so there's no point in talking about them any longer. Group E, I expect Liverpool to qualify in second. However, they could finish third. The truth is, and this isn't because I'm a Manchester United fan, I actually am looking at this objectively. Liverpool are an awful club with mostly shit players. With the exception of Mane, Coutinho, Salah, there isn't another Liverpool player that I rate. The only reason why I'm going with Liverpool to finish second place is because of the competence of Klopp, and that's it really. This team hasn't improved since Brendan Rodgers was last in charge, and they've been kicked out of the group stage before. They have no chance of topping Sevilla, but if I was a betting man, I actually would bet on Liverpool not making it out of the group stage. Group F, Manchester City are going to top their group. Group B and D looks very exciting. Barca and Juventus. Let's see if Barca can get their revenge on Juventus, which I think they will. Juventus had a great season last year, but I doubt they will be at the level that they were. And Group B, PSG versus Bayern Munich. Let's see if Neymar can elevate PSG to actually being contenders for the Champions League and not being the pretenders that they've been for the past few years. Well, I've now come to the end of this video. If you somehow made it to the end, thank you. Leave a comment. If you liked the video, you can leave a like. And for more of these videos, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you. Until next time.